Today we are discussing about the cohesion and coupling. It's a part of the software engineering third unit, that is called software designing concept. Okay. So before discussing about the cohesion and coupling, so briefly explain about the designing. So this purpose of the designing phase in the software development life cycle is to produce a solution to a problem given in the manner of SRS. That is the called software requirement specification document. So finally you can get the output of the designing phase is called SDD, that is the called software design documentation. So basically design is a two-part iterative process, like it can be consisting of the two types. The first part is called conceptual design and second part is the called technical design. In the first part is conceptual design that tells the customer what the system will do, and second one is the technical design that allows the system builders to understand the actual hardware and software needed to solve the customer problems. Okay. Designers, it can be consisting of the conceptual design and technical design. This conceptual design under consisting of the customers as well as the technical design, it can be consisting of the system designers. So the conceptual design of the system. So in this conceptual design of the system, written in simple language means what you have to defining the system design, it is we can write in simple language like customer understandable language. So and also we can explanation about the system characteristics as well as the describe the functionality of the system and also independent of implementation and linked with the requirements documentation. This is the concept of the conceptual design of the system. Technical design of system, which can be consisting of the hardware component and design as well as the functionality and hierarchy of the software components as well as the software architecture, networking architecture, so data structure and flow of data as well as the IO component of system and shows interface. These are the under part of the technical designing of the system. So what is a modularization? So right now we are discussing about what is a cohesion. Before we can explain about the cohesion, first we can discuss about the modularization. What is a modularization? So modularization is the process of dividing a software system into multiple independent modules. Okay. So for example, I can develop a one software. So whenever I can develop a software, before going I can divide it into subparts. It's called submodules, the given software. For best example, so in our college consider, so Vignan degree college can be divided into submodules. Those are, so Vignan degree college can be divided into various modules. Those are MPCS computers, stat computers, and as well as the chemistry department, as well as the maths department. These are the under modules of the Vignan degree college. Like here also, modularization means is the process of dividing the software system into multiple independent modules where each module works independently. Is the advantage of modularization software design. Okay, so many advantages of modularization software engineering. Some of those are given C. So easy to understand the system. System maintenance is very easily, and also a module can be used many times as their requirement. No need to write it again and again. For example, I can use one module in our programming. So that module I can use number of times, but I can use only one time that module. So whenever I can write the one programming code, that programming code I can use multiple times in our programming, but here only I can write only once. Okay. So based on that one, the definition here, a module can be used many times as their requirements, no need to write it again and again. Generally, modularization it can be consisting of the how many types? Two types. Those are cohesion and coupling. What is the cohesion? Cohesion is the indication of the relationship. Means indication of the relationship within the module. It is a concept of intra-module. Cohesion has many types, but usually high cohesion is the good for the software. Here, see, here high cohesion is the good for the software. What is a high cohesion? We are discussing about it one by one. So what is a coupling? Coupling is also indication of the relationship between the modules. So what is the difference between cohesion and coupling? Cohesion is also relationship between the module, but here coupling is also relationship between the modules. But here main difference is it is a concept of intermodule, but cohesion is a concept of the intramodule. Okay, and also coupling has also many types. Cohesion also many types, but here coupling usually good for low coupling is the good for the software, but cohesion is the High coupling is good for the software. So this is the main difference between the cohesion and coupling. So a good design is one of that has low coupling. Coupling is measured by the number of relationships between the modules. Okay, so coupling is, yes, see, again I will be repeated. Coupling is measured by the number of relationships between the modules. That is, coupling is increases a number of calls between the modules, and also increase or the amount of shared data is large. That it can be said that a design with high coupling will have more errors. Okay, coupling. So what is a coupling? Coupling is the measure of the degree of interdependency between the modules. A good software will have low coupling. Okay, so what is the meaning of coupling? Coupling, it can be consisting of the interrelationship between the modules. But here a good software will have low coupling is the best for the coupling concept. So the diagrammatic representation, see, we are uncoupled, next one uncoupled, some dependencies, high coupled, many dependencies. The diagrammatic representation, see, we are representation circles. So first one, first A diagram, second B diagram, third C diagram. So first diagram, it can be dependent upon the no dependencies, that is uncoupled. There is no relationship between the one to another one. But second diagrammatic representation, we have some loosely coupled, means some dependencies are available from one to another one. And coming to the third one, highly coupled. Highly coupled, it can be consisting of the more number of dependencies, one to another one, another one to another one. So that is the diagrammatic representation of coupling. So see the diagrammatic representation, see, uncoupled, second one is the loosely coupled, third one is the highly coupled. So but here our based on our definition, which one is the good? Low coupling is the good. So inside the coupling consisting of the highly coupled, loosely coupled, uncoupled, and also cohesion and its types. So already I discussed about the coupling. So coupling is the measure of the independence of the components. Okay. So coupling is related to a cohesion. Cohesion is also related to a coupling, just like. It is an indication the strength of the interconnections between the components. It is the strength of the interconnections between the components in a designing pattern. Highly coupled. So these types of systems have interconnections with program units dependent on each other. That is called highly coupled. The diagrammatic representation is highly coupled. So I can defining the four modules: module A, module B, module C, module D. So module A, it will be dependent upon the module B. Module B, it will be dependent on the module C as well as the module D. Module D, it will be dependent upon the module C, module A, module B. It is a interconnection between the modules, that like module A to module C, module A to module B, module B to module A, module B to module D, module D to module C, module D to module A, module C to module B. So there is an interconnection between the modules. So this type of diagrammatic representation is called highly coupled. So what is a loosely coupled? So loosely coupled already discussed before diagram. So loosely coupled is means less dependencies. So loosely coupled systems are made up of components. It can be consisting of the made up of components which are independent or almost independent. In this, less dependencies are available. This type of definition is called loosely coupled. So the diagrammatic representation of loosely coupled, C. So we are less dependencies are available from module A to module B, module B to module D, module D to module C, module C to module A, or vice versa. Okay. So this is the loosely coupled diagrammatic representation. So what is a uncoupled? Uncoupled components have interconnections at all. No dependencies from one module to another module. There is no dependencies. The type of approaches is called uncoupled. So example of the diagrammatic representation, C. What is the uncoupled? I can define four modules: module A, module B, module C, module D. So there is no interconnections between the modules. A to, we cannot define any relationship. Module A to module B, module B to module C, module C to module D, module D to module A, module D to module B. So we are not providing any relationship. So this type of diagrammatic representation is called uncoupled. So the range of the coupling measurements, it can be consisting of the content coupling, common coupling, external coupling, control coupling, stamp coupling, data coupling. So the hierarchy here, see. So worst coupling is the called content coupling. The best one is the called data coupling. So one by one we are discussing about the coupling measures. So first one is called content coupling. So when one component actually modifies another, then the modified components is completely dependent on the modifying one. This is the called content coupling. So the diagrammatic representation, see, I can defining the more number of modules. I can defining the component B and as well as I can defining the component D. So whenever I can call the go to D1, I can call the D method, D module. So it will be go to the module B2, it will be depend upon the module D. So whenever I can change the one component, it will be affected to the another one. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation. See, component B, it will be depend upon the module B. Module B, it will be connect to the module D. Okay. As well as the component D. Component D will be direct called module D. So whenever I can call. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation. So what is a common coupling? So we can reduce the amount of coupling, somewhat by organizing our design so the data are accessible from the data store. On the data store. For example, I can write a one C programming. In our C programming or Java programming or .NET or framework, whatever it may be, we can write the one programming. In our main programming, I can call some variables in our program. So what I can do here, so before writing the programming, I can defining some variables in global declaration parts. So whenever I can declare the global declaration variables, I can use that variables in our programming anywhere. So that is the part of the global declaration part. The diagrammatic representation C. So what that is the common coupling definition. Again I will be tell you. So common coupling means we can reduce the amount of coupling somewhat by organizing our design so the data are accessible from on the data store. Example of the variables I already told about. So coming to the next one, external coupling. So what is a external coupling? External coupling arises when two modules share an externally imposed data format, like communication protocols as well as the device interfaces. So this is the relation. So this is related to communication to external tools and devices. So this is called external coupling. So what is a control coupling? So when one component passes parameters to control the activity of another component. Okay. So when one component passes, whenever I can write the program, in our programming I can pass some parameters. Based on the parameters I can control the program. So that is it. That is my intention in our program. Same like here the definition of the control coupling means when one component passes the parameters to control the activity of another components. We say that there is a control coupling between the two. So this is the definition of the control coupling. So generally the control coupling occurs between the two modules. Okay, between the modules when the data are passed that influence the internal logic of a module. Example of the flags and switches. So the control coupling it can be the diagrammatic representation. See how it will be passes the data. How it will be passes the data. Retrieve a customer information, like it can be consisting of the customer ID. Based on the customer ID we can get the information type. Okay, customer information type we can get the retrieve as well as the customer address, customer name. So this is the control coupling definition. So what is a stamp coupling? So what is a stamp coupling? What is a stamp coupling? When data structure is used to pass information from one component to another. This type of approach is called stamp coupling. So the stamp coupling is the diagrammatic representation C. Two modules are stamp coupled if they communication via passed data structure which control more information, okay, more information when then necessary for the modules is perform their functions. For example, produce report cards. Okay, produce report card. What type of produce report cards? Like student records as well as the employee records, what it may be, and also we can take the printouts. This is the example of the stamp coupling. Okay. So what is the data coupling? If only data are passed, the components are connected by the data coupling. Okay. So retrieve the customer, for example, data coupling example, retrieve the customer information. Customer information can be consisting of the customer ID. Based on the customer ID, we can retrieve the customer address as well as we can get the information about the recording the customer address. This is the data coupling. Okay. So again module of the cohesion. In computer programming, cohesion defines to degree which the elements of a module belong together. So thus, cohesion measures the strength of relationships between the pieces of functionality. Pieces, it's a part, okay, or module. Between the pieces of functionality within a given module. For example, in highly cohesion statement, functionality is strongly related. So that is the called, it will be communicated each other. Cohesion is a ordinal type of measurement and is generally described as a high cohesion or low cohesion. So the types of modules cohesion, it will be consisting of the worst case as well as the best case. So which one is the best case? Functional cohesion. Worst case, coincidental cohesion. So yes, see. So first one, the functional cohesion. So generally cohesion, it can be consisting of the different types. What are those one? Discuss one by one. Functional cohesion. Second one is the sequential cohesion, communication cohesion, procedure cohesion, temporal cohesion, logical cohesion, and last one, coincidental cohesion. So these are the number of types in cohesion. So we are discussing about the one by one. So what is a cohesion? The cohesion of the components is a measure of the closeness of the relationships between the components. How much related each other? How much relationship between each other? So that is the we can define here. Okay, the cohesion of a components is a measure of the closeness of the relationship between its components. And next one, coincidental cohesion. The worst degree of it is the worst. Okay, this is the worst degree of cohesion coincidentally found in a component whose parts are unrelated to another, unrelated to one another. So we are not related to anyone. Okay. So what is a logical cohesion? Next one. So what is a logical cohesion? A logical cohesion consisting of the next higher level of the cohesion, where here several logically related functions or data elements are placed in the same components. Okay. So what is it? Next one, what is a temporal cohesion? Sometimes a component is used to initialize a system or a set of values. Such a component performs several functions in sequence, but the functions are related by the timing involved. So its cohesion is temporal. Okay, so again repeated this statement. Temporal cohesion is called sometimes a component is used to, suppose we are using one component initially, a system or set of variables. Such a component performs several functions in sequence, but the functions are related by the timing involved. So its cohesion is temporal cohesion. So procedural cohesion. So when functions are grouped together in a component, just to ensure this order, the component is procedural cohesion. Communication. So this communication consisting of the cohesion often destroys the modularity and functional independence of the design. The communicationally cohesion often destroys the modularity and functional independence of the design. This is the communication. And what is a sequence cohesion? In this output from one part of a component is input to the next part, the component has sequential cohesion.